What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 38. We're starting today's stuff on the back of the win over Coventry into the FA Cup quarter-finals with the Toffees 90 minutes away from our third Wembley appearance in 3 years after the FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool in season 1, which of course we lost, and of course the League Cup final, which we also lost last year in heartbreaking fashion with basically the final kick of extra time to Manchester United. Well, third time this season going for Wembley Place. We'll have to go through Middlesbrough away at the Riverside if we are to get there. So, first game of today's episode on the back of the win over Coventry, and of course our last Premier League game, my first Merseyside derby win. You would have heard me in the last episode literally gleaming over that, man. You got no idea how happy I am to have finally broken the curse and won a Merseyside derby. Well, now taking on Fulham away, Marco Silva, the former Everton manager, doing a fantastic job with Fulham this year, isn't he, in their return to the Premier League, taking on away in West London at Craven Cottage. Worst possible start to the game. Andreas Pereira giving them the lead inside the opening 10 minutes. Great to see Pereira this year having a great season as well. You know, Andreas Pereira had many games for Manchester United and also many loan spells as well. He went back to his home country, Brazil, Flamengo, played on loan there in Rio de Janeiro as well for a year too. A lot of question marks what would happen with Pereira. You know, would he ever really find a home outside of Manchester United permanently, but also really kick on in the top tier? Give the guy some credit. This year he's been a real key player for Marco Silva. He's done really well, and Marco Silva is definitely getting the best out of him this season in West London. So he gave him the lead, but Lukaku would level for it not too long afterwards. What a season Rom is having. That's now 20 goals in the Premier League for Romelu Lukaku, chasing that golden boot on his return to Everton, but in a really topsy-turvy game here. 44 minutes in, Antoine Semenyo, the former Robin, former Bristol City forward, makes it 2-1. And Fulham are back in front. So once again, we fall behind. But it was a game where there was just constant attacks, you know, chance after chance after chance after chance. And really it was going to come down to who was more clinical. We had a great chance after the restart. Varela looking for his second goal in 4 games, heading just wide as it was still 2-1. But then 80 minutes in, he does it once again. Romelu Lukaku, man, this guy is just too good, man, honestly. I mean, when we signed him from Chelsea, Graham Potter looking to balance the books after all the big signings they'd made. You know, Lukaku, everyone knows his future at Chelsea. Very uncertain, to say the very least. I said to Rom, come back, mate. You'll be a regular starter, first choice, obviously. And I promise you, you'll get the game time. You'll be playing Europa League football, yes, but there's no reason why you can't help us qualify for the Champions League. Where would we be without Romelu Lukaku? Well, I'll tell you right now, not on the hinges of a top 4 place, or fringe, I should say, not on the fringes of a top 4 place. Lukaku single-handedly rescuing a point. We're bracing that game as his pursuit of the Premier League Golden Boot continues, and our pursuit of a top 4 place continues as well. But of course, there's also a different way you can qualify with the Champions League these days, and it's not just by finishing in the top 4. The other way, winning the Europa League, or, you know, winning the Champions League, but winning the Europa League as well. And right now, we are in the Europa League last 16. Made it for our group, topped the group, and our reward, if you will, for topping the group is Arsenal in the last 16. Yep, taking on the league leaders for the second game of today's episode on the back of the draw there with Fulham. So staying in London, this time going from west to north, and now taking on Mikel Arteta's side. Well, heading into this game here, I will be totally honest, against Arsenal, I set up quite defensively in this one, and I thought, I'm not going to drag players forward like I ordinarily do on the counter. I'm going to try and smother Arsenal with some pressing, but not really go for much of a counter, and hope for the best and hope for a 0-0. In the end, I got it. Yeah, there was very few chances in the game, and I got to say my game plan worked really well in this game. Sometimes you just got to know when to target a draw other than a win. Arsenal right now are the best team in the country in the game right now, top of the table. So listen, man, you've got to know when a draw is a good result, and this is a 2-legged affair. We're better at Goodison than we are away. We're going to Arsenal. We're going to the league leaders. It's a Thursday night clash. Listen, I'll take a draw. I'll take a draw and I'll take a 0-0, and we got it as well. The Guns went close a couple of times. Pickford with a couple of really good saves in the second half. Kept it at 0-0, but I'm definitely taking that every day of the week. As soon as we got it, I walked right down the tunnel and said, guys, quickly applaud the away fans behind the goal, and then come down the tunnel. We're getting back to Goodison. We've got another game on next Thursday, 7 days' time, and that's the game we go for the win. Job done, boys. Job done. We got ourselves the draw. I'll definitely take that. You've seen our results against big teams this season. We've lost the majority of them. Yes, we lost to Liverpool, but for the most part, we come up short against the big teams. So if we can, you know, house a draw away in North London, I'm going to take it, and we definitely did. think it was last season, wasn't it? We had Arsenal late season where we house Arena 0-0, time wasting from like the 20th minute onwards to qualify for the Europa League. I'll tell you what, Mikel Arteta is sick of me right now. But yeah, following game, third game today, Middlesbrough away, Riverside Stadium, FA Cup quarter final. Obviously after the draw, I said it, golden chance to reach Wembley for the third time in 3 years, taking on a championship side for the third of 4 rounds so far after knocking out Burnley and Coventry, and before that Spurs via a replay. Taking on the Borough, I felt confident. Once again though, you saw my lineup really, really strong. I've discussed this in the past couple episodes. I'm playing strong lineups in the FA Cup, not taking any chances, and after Lukaku made it too late on, a little bit of a lucky goal, we'll take it. With 8 minutes on the clock, Ross Barkley, you don't see him often this season since coming back to the Toffees, but he gets the assist for what has been one of my unsung heroes this year, Steffi Mavididi. This guy's been really good this year. Bagged a brace in the game alongside Lukaku. Once again, my starters getting the goal, so proof in the pudding there why, you know, going with stronger lineups has helped us get to the FA Cup semi-final for the second year in 3. Mavididi with the brace. He's been so good this year, man. His goal-to-game ratio has been really, really good. So Everton heading back to Wembley, like I mentioned there, third time in 3 years. FA Cup semi-final in season 1, lost to Liverpool. League Cup final last year, lost to Manchester United. This year we're back at Wembley. Can we get it right at the third time of asking? Well, if we're going to do so, we'll have to take out in the FA Cup semi-final Manchester United. So, Aston Villa knocked out MK Dons on penalties, and I've got to be honest here, I was hoping for Unai Emery's side. Why is that? Well, recent history. I mean, we lost to Manchester United in the League Cup final last year. We lost to Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final in season 1. I didn't want to experience deja vu again of having to take on one of those teams at Wembley. But unfortunately, we do have last year's EFL Cup final winners after they beat us with the final kick of extra time. I'll never forget it. In the League Cup final, Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag's side, and of course the holders of the League Cup this year after beating Newcastle United for Ten Hag's first major honour of what I believe will be several during his time as Manchester United manager. God damn it. I mean, you know, listen, whoever we were going to get was going to be tough. Even Aston Villa would have been tough, but even so, Manchester United there, after last year beating us in heartbreaking fashion in the League Cup final, that's going to be tough, though. And it might all be our third straight trip to Wembley, which ends in tears. But we'll see. Still, following game, fourth and final one today, Arsenal, Thursday night, and after housering, well, not really housering, but, you know, getting ourselves a goalless draw in the first leg, I was buzzing with that, absolutely buzzing, because I knew that going back to Goodison, we've got a better record at Goodison this year than we do away from home, and taking on the league leaders here, I'd fancy our chances at home, but definitely not away from home. But unfortunately, coming into this game, we knew we'd still be underdogs regardless, and heading into the game, Arsenal would take the very early lead. Emil Smith-Rowe, 6th of the competition, makes it 1-0. Arsenal take the early advantage. It's 1-0, and in 33 minutes, a chance for them to go 2 goals up. And it not being for Jordan Pickford, they would have done so. Dembele sent through after a lovely through ball. Great save with the captain, and it's still 1-0. I hadn't really got going in this game. I hadn't really had that many chances at all. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was in the wars. He'd been taken down twice in this game, here in the 55th minute, as it was still 1-0. But I hadn't really had that many chances, and I knew if I was going to get some goals, they were going to have to come on the break. We're a far weaker team. We're the underdogs. Arsenal play a heavy possession style of play. We know that, so we won't get many chances. If we're going to get one, it's going to come on the break, and 60 minutes in, I brought him off the bench at half-time, and Iliman Ndiaye, he's one of those squad players you don't see often. When you do see him, he normally comes up with a goal or an assist, and in this moment here, it is the former. Plays the 1-2 with Connor Cody, and the former Blade makes it 1-1, and in one of the rare chances we got, we'd levelled it. Ndiaye with the equaliser. It's 1-1. I bloody love Ndiaye. It's 1-1. We're back on level terms. But it was all Arsenal in this game. Really, it was all Arsenal. Yes, we got our goal, but it came on the counter. Pickford was making save after save after save after save, keeping us at 1-1, trying to single-handedly drag us in to extra time. I was 2 minutes to go, trying to pass out from the back and go on the counter. Gave the ball away. 1-2 between Vieira and Martinez. Ball rolled through to the middle, and Guido Rodriguez wins it for the Gunners. And how many times have we suffered late heartbreak in big games throughout the course of this save? It's the Everton way, and it's happened once again. Guido Rodriguez pops up with a game winner for the Toffees, and Arsenal win it at the death. Absolutely sick to my stomach, including that man there. Pickford made save after save after save. But really here, as I say it all the time, I present the highlights package very fairly. I'll be totally honest here. we were hanging on. Like, we were hanging on, and the chances are we were going to lose the game in extra time if we didn't lose it in normal time. It was all Arsenal for the most part. They're the best team in the country right now. Of course, we were going to struggle, and in the end, the luck of the cup draw didn't really do us many favours there. Yes, whoever we would have faced would have been tough, but Arsenal, probably one of, if not the toughest teams we could have had. The double whammy is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin also broke his toe. He's out for 3 months as well, so a big blow there now that Dele Alli's gone to Aston Villa as well. Means that Ellis Sims' role is going to be increased. He'll come onto the bench now, but that's a big blow there out of the Europa League, dropping to 7th in the table, and also, as well, FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United as well. There was a very slim chance of a treble. It's safe to say that's definitely gone now. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you haven't, like, and watch the chill. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you for the next episode of the Realistic Career Mode very soon.